Hello and welcome, dear students, to a series of grammar in views. This is the 67th lesson in the series, and in this lesson, we are going to look at the use of each and every. So, get ready with the notepad and the pen to take down the pointers as we dive into the lesson. Let us begin. Though the word each and every appear very simple to understand, and there are certain pointers which we will be taking down as we go or proceed with the lesson. Initially, the word each and every means the same. They can be used interchangeably in general context. Now let us see. Each and every are words that go before singular nouns to refer to all members of a group of people or things. So if you are talking about a group of things, if you have a group before you, the word each and every refers to the single person who is in singular, that means before singular nouns, and you are actually pointing out to every single person but within the group. So that is how each and every is used. Now when it is used interchangeably in that context where singular is used, you can replace it. Now in most cases there is no difference in meaning. That means the first pointer is that each and every can be used interchangeably in certain cases where there is no difference to what is being said. For example, I buy more and more each time I go shopping. I buy more and more every time I go shopping. Now that means you're pointing out to the saying and that all the time when I go shopping, each time I buy more and more, or every time I buy more and more. So you can use it interchangeably. In this context, it is not incorrect. Each place we stopped at was beautiful. Every place we stopped at was beautiful. Now that means every place where we stopped was beautiful. Now over here we have no such rule. It can be used interchangeably, and the examples are based on the same rule, that is used interchangeably. We'll try changing to see whether it makes sense or not. The host made sure he greeted each guest at the party. The host made sure he greeted every guest at the party. So we are talking about the single guest but within the group, and it doesn't differ if we say each or if we say every. Last summer I went to visit my grandmother. Every day I went to visit my grandmother each day. Each person on the beach was developing a bad sunburn. Every person on the beach was developing a bad sunburn. I always try every kind of ice cream when I go abroad. I always try each kind of ice cream when I go abroad, though every sounds more appropriate to the ears because what is spoken broadly or used more often by the people, that becomes an acceptable sentence in English language. But here we have learned that interchanging the word each and every doesn't make any difference in the context. Now when let us see certain places where we cannot change or interchange the word each and every. For example, unlike each and every cannot be used to talk about just two things. When you're having two things in a group, then you cannot say each and every. For example, she had an earring in each ear. That is correct. But you cannot say she had an earring in every ear. She doesn't have more than 2 years, isn't it? So you cannot say every year. She only has 2 years, so every can't be used over here. Now, this pointer is very interesting. Please make a note of it. Each is used to talk separately about every member of a group. Now, think of a group. where you have a number of people in that group. Now, when you're talking about each person in that group and you are giving some information regarding each person, that means in singular but within the specified group. So, over here, when you're talking about a single person separately, about every member in the group, then you use the word each. You must check each answer carefully. That means a number of questions were attempted. So talking about each answer, talking about each answer, talking about each answer, talking about each answer separately. Each is also used when talking about a small number of things. When the countable number is low, then you may use the word each. Each pencil is a different color. Now, the examples based on the above rule, I get more aware after each cup of coffee. That means every cup of coffee, or you can say that each countable cup of coffee makes a person more aware. I took lots of time over each application I made. So the person is specifying that each application took a lot of time. So in all, there were many applications. The person is talking about each application taking considerable time. Each player on my team. Now again, team is the big group. The person is talking about this player, this player, this player, this player, this player, this player. Each player on my team contributed to our win. Each friend who visited me brought a gift. So specifically, you are pointing out to each singular person separately, but they are a part of the group. So that is how the word each is used. Now let us see, when is the word every used? Every is used when speaking about the whole group of something. Now when you're talking about the whole group, then you use every. I want to eat every piece of this delicious pie. So you're talking that he wants to eat the entire pie. Every is used also when talking about large numbers. Every child has the right to an education. You cannot say each child has the right to an education. You have to say every child, because you're not talking about a small number, you're talking about a large number. Let us see the examples based on the rule. Every night I look up at all the stars in the sky. Every night. That means the group of nights, talking about that in general. My colleague says he has visited every country in the world. Now mentioning about a number of countries as a group, talking about many countries the person has visited. Every fan in the stadium was cheering loudly. Now, every means talking about the entire group of people cheering loudly. So, over here, for every fan contributing to that group becomes a huge group, and that is how every is used. I can't remember every hotel I have ever stayed in. Talking about a number of group of hotels. So talking in general, talking about the whole group, the person has used the word every. I hope this difference between each and every has been established. Each is used when you want to point out to and talk about a single person in singular in a group, and when you want to use every, you talk about the whole group. That is how every is used. I hope you have established the difference. You can go back and revisit the examples for a better understanding. With this, we have come to the end of this lesson. I hope you liked the lesson. If you liked it, kindly click on like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your kind attention.